All right, guys, we are back with the bucket. First of all, thank you for clicking on this video. So today, I just wanted to go over basically the first 5 best bang for your buck mods that I recommend for a Subaru. Now, this is not going to be best reliability mods for your Subaru. It's just the best bang for your buck kind of budget mods that you can get for your Subaru. I have plenty of other videos explaining reliability mods for the Subaru, but that's not this video. Now, none of these mods are going to hurt the reliability of your vehicle as long as you take the right steps, which I'll explain when we get there. But let's go ahead and get right into the first mod. And that is gonna be a front lip. The reason I say front lip, just to get it out of the way, is because it's super cheap. You can get it on Amazon or eBay for around 100 bucks, which I'll link what I have in the description below. It really adds a great aggressive look to the front end of your car. It's cheap. You can get expensive ones. I personally would recommend getting a cheaper one just in case you destroy it, because that's what somebody advised me to do, and I went cheap, but I'm thinking I'm never gonna blow this off because I've got stock suspension. Well, this is my second front lip, if that tells you anything. So I would go with a cheaper $100 one off eBay or Amazon, because you don't really need that real expensive one just for the looks aspect of the car. All right, so for the second mod, I would recommend doing a short throw shifter, mainly because it's one of the cheaper mods you can get out of the way. The throw is super long in these Subarus, and what I have is a cartboy short throw shifter, and I really like it. They feel more notchy. You can really feel it go into gear. It is a much shorter throw. Now, I don't have anything to compare it to. I've never had a Cobb, I've never had a Parent, I've never had the other ones. Mine's a cartboy, and I enjoy it. You're shifting non-stop. You're shifting non-stop when you're driving it. That's probably the most touched thing, other than the steering wheel and the gas pedal, in the car. So why not make it a good experience right off the bat and go with a short throw shifter? Now, the next mod, in my opinion, is a must for a Subaru, and that is an axle back exhaust. And the reason I say axle back is because it is purely sound, and it is the cheapest part of the exhaust you can get, in my opinion. I have a nameless axle back that was it was right around $100, and that is what gets you the Subaru Rumble on your Subaru for the cheapest, for the lowest amount of money. It removes your muffler, and it really just opens up that rumble. Now, you're not going to gain any horsepower from doing that. It's purely for sound, and that's why it's one of the cheaper options. Now, next thing would be cat back and downpipe, so basically full turbo back. But then you start getting into needing a tune, and now because Cobb went with the whole Green Speed Act, you got to get a Pro Tune or E-Tune. You don't have the OTS tune options that you used to have. But I'm not going to get into tuning in this video. I've got a couple other videos where I really dive into when you need a tune. So if you are wondering that, go check out the other videos in my channel, and you'll see one labeled "Does your Subaru need a tune?" Check that out. So with all that being said, the next mod I highly recommend is getting an access port. Now, this mod I think is around $600 to $650, but it is a must for any Subaru as long as you are planning on upgrading your Subaru. You basically need an access port for anything tune wise. Now, they do come with OTS tunes, like I just mentioned, which means off-the-shelf tunes, which means if you throw a cold air intake on it, it already has a tune on the access port. You can go and select Cobb SF cold air intake, and then your car is tuned for that intake. Now these are the lowest of the low tuning option. Obviously it's going to be way more ideal to get an E-tune and way more ideal to get a Pro Tune. An E-tune is just your data logging, which you can data log with the access port, another reason to get it. Data log, send it into your tuner. I have an E-tune on this. I use Torque Performance, so if you're needing an E-tune, go check them out. But you data log, send it to your tuner, they send you a tune back, and you keep doing that until he says, all right, you're good. So that's a very good way to do it. Or the best way, Pro Tune, take it to a dyno, have them tune it right then and there, you're good to go. That's going to be a lot more expensive than an E-tune, but it's they really get into the nitty-gritty of tuning. So now I'm not knocking on E-tunes, because honestly some say E-tunes are better because it's street tuned, which that's what you're going to be doing. You're driving it on the street in all kinds of different conditions. So anyway, Cobb access port, you're going to need that if you are wanting to upgrade your car. I would get that first right off the bat before you start buying performance parts. All right, so that is going to lead into the fifth and final part that I would get, and that would be a cold air intake. Now I got the Cobb SF cold air intake, and that was because, for one, I was using the Cobb OTS tune, and that's what their tune is specifically wrote for, is the Cobb intake. So I went ahead and went with that. That was around $230, I think. So it's still on the cheaper, I know it's expensive, but it's still on the cheaper side of performance parts on a Subaru. They get pretty expensive. So that'll just help the car, that'll open up the car a little more, bring in more airflow, give it a little bit more horsepower, unnoticeable. But what you really do notice is the turbo noise inside the car. You really hear it sucking, and you really hear it kind of blow off when you let off the throttle. So that really just improves your driver's experience overall, and who doesn't love those noises? So that is going to conclude the top 5 best bang for your buck mods that you can do to a Subaru. Now this is very opinionated. Obviously everybody's going to have different opinions. I mean, you could add wheels on there because that really changes the look of the car. You could add anything. It's just personal preference. These are the top first 5 that I recommend, that I enjoyed the most right off the bat. Now, like I said, I could have a whole separate list for best first 5 mods for your car, because then it'd be all reliability, which would be like air oil separator, cylinder 4 cooling mod, tune, you know, but that's a whole nother path to get into. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoy these instructional talking videos, let me know. I'll do more. If you hate them, let me know, and we'll do something else. I've got mods I need to put on the Civic to get that going, so there'll be some of that content coming up. I've got rail buggy content. So if you guys like this, do me a favor and subscribe. Helps me out a ton. Like the video, comment on the video, give me some opinions. If you guys want to see anything, let me know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching.